Hey there guys, and welcome back to Alex Invest. Today the markets are pretty green, a little bit mixed, but you know, we love to be optimistic on this channel, so we're staying with it green. The stock we're talking about today is Hillcrest Petroleum. That's HRH.V on the Canadian TSXV and HLRTF on the OTC markets, right? And we're just going to look at the stock chart here really quickly first. And you know, I actually picked up some shares this morning at the 0.205 level. My cost basis on this one is actually 0.205. So it was just the right time to pick up shares in this one. And why do I see a lot of growth for this? You know, it's a small cap stock and you know, I love the small cap stocks before they get big, right? And this is one of those that I think will do that. And there's quite a few reasons why, and we're going to go through those. The first one, we're going to start right here, is that Morgan Stanley picked up 1 million shares in this company just 2 mornings ago. Now, why would they do this? Why would such a big company be picking up such a small cap stock? It's because they know that there's some big deals coming out here, and that's what we're going to go through. And the first one is with Inigo, and the other one is with AC/DC. But we'll look at this right here in order to see that, right? And this is the shareholder update, and it came out on January 25th, right? Not too long ago here, but still a little while. But I think these deals are coming close to fruition here, and that's why Morgan Stanley here picked this one up, I think, for the longer term. And we're going to go through why for the longer term, but also for the shorter term, because these deals, when they come through, it's really going to push up the price of the stock, right? And that's right here, Inigo, right? And what we can see is that Hillcrest announced a memorandum of understanding with Inigo Technologies to negotiate a definitive agreement whereby Hillcrest would acquire rights to certain electric machine control intellectual property. Once this deal fully comes out, we're going to see the stock price be pushed up. And I invested in this one before Morgan Stanley got in here for the first time, and of course today as well. But that kind of, again, just made me more bullish on this one and where it's going here. It's funny because originally a subscriber of mine told me about this one at 0.06 per share, and I didn't listen, and we're here now. But you know, this information obviously wasn't out yet then, so I didn't know a lot of this here. But what we see, and let me just talk about this quickly, what we see is they're transitioning here again from a petroleum company into clean energy technology, right? And that's a big reason why I see this one doing well now. And we will go through a little bit of their technology, where they want to head here, right? And yes, this is still a ways down the road, but these deals are really going to start it here. So here we can see Arie Berger, who is the inventor of the Inigo IP, is already acting as Hillcrest's chief technology manager. And the thing about Arie Berger here, right? This is the guy who was the chief technology manager at Exro Technologies, right? So he's now working as the chief technology manager for Hillcrest, right? And he's the one who's working on this Inigo IP with that BMS technology, right? And so again, what we're going to see is this technology be very effective as it is for Exro here, right? And so again, that's making me really, really bullish on this one, that we're going to see some big things here. And we could see it moving similar to the way Exro moved in its early sort of stages there, right? So next is this. During Q3 2020, Hillcrest announced its intention to move its listing to the Canadian Securities Exchange, right? And we haven't seen this move yet. But again, once we see this move, we're going to see an increase in price here again. So another reason why I'm bullish here in the short term even is this uplisting that's going to happen again pretty soon here. And the other thing is they're going to have a new name for the company. It won't be Hillcrest Petroleum anymore. And that is another reason why I'm bullish on this one, because what's happening right now, I think, is people are seeing Hillcrest Petroleum and they think, oh, it's a petroleum company, old business, it's going nowhere. when in actuality, they're working in renewable technology here, right? And once the name changes to something that kind of reflects that a little bit more, I think more people are going to be willing to invest in this company again, because not too many people, I think, do enough research to kind of figure out what they're doing. But there's going to be a lot of hype once that name kind of changes to something again, that reflects what they're doing. And yes, you know, they are still producing oil and selling it, but this again is kind of a means to an end here for this company, because they're only doing this to kind of evolve again their technology and grow their new business here in this clean technology sector. And again, we can see that right here, right? It has provided sufficient net cash flow to meet company expenses. And yes, they are, in addition here, going to have another well drilled in Q1 2021, right? So coming up now, again, which will generate more kind of revenue again for them to continue their process in this renewable technology space that they're looking to get into, right? So that's great. And let's go back up here for a minute, because these are two that we haven't talked about yet, right? The AC/DC deal here, which is coming out, and they have in fact signed a letter of intent, right, with AC/DC. And what we can see here, right down here, is formal discussions are expected to accelerate once the above referenced Inigo agreement is finalized, right? So once they have that Inigo agreement out and ready and it's signed and everything, then they're going to move on to the AC/DC deal, which is again going to generate more sort of hype and more people knowing about this one. And again, I think it's going to push up the price, because if we have a look at sort of AC/DC here, right, what we can see is on the 30-minute kind of where they've been going, right? And obviously they've been falling a little bit here since, but you know, they started here on the 4th, and then on the 8th they had this big jump up, and there's quite a bit of hype on AC/DC, and I think we're going to see that hype, once this deal is announced, move into Hillcrest Petroleum and see the price of Hillcrest again jump up quite a lot too, with, you know, again, the Inigo deal as well here, and the whole thing with Extra, right? And then again, the Allset deal as well, which is going to be coming out soon. Again, enabling development, licensing, marketing, US patent, electricity generation, and electric motor technologies. So again, that's 3 separate deals here coming out for Hillcrest Petroleum, and they're all bullish deals here, especially I think the AC/DC deal with sort of all the hype on AC/DC is going to really push up the price of Hillcrest. But all 3 of these, once they come out, are going to be big news for Hillcrest and push up the price here. And that's why in the short term, it's going to be a good play. Now, I just wanted to go through this with you guys here quickly. And this is kind of where they want to head here in sort of the longer term. And this is kind of why I'm bullish in the longer term on Hillcrest as well, right? We can see, you know, again, the EMC technology here is right here, which is the Inigo again, and the BMS. And these two, again, come from Exro's chief technology officer, right? Mr. Berger, or Berger, or however you say it. But again, what this shows is this technology is already proven in Exro, and so they don't really have to do much here other than implement this technology and sort of optimize it for the industrial stage here. Because again, you know, Exro is in sort of the electric car efficiency aspect here, with their BMS, with their coil driver, etc., right? And now what we're seeing is Hillcrest is sort of the same, but for the industrial clean energy aspect here, making that more efficient. And that's what we're seeing, right? And we're going to have this Allset generator here. And again, the AC/DC aspect here with the battery storage. and transformer and the ESS system, which is the energy storage system, which is going to be from AC/DC, because we know their energy storage technology is really good. And Hillcrest, again, with EMC, with X-Rose technology there, and then all set for the generator. And at first, you know, what I was thinking is this is in direct competition with some of my other stocks, like my solar stocks, and more importantly, my fuel cell and hydrogen stocks here, right? Because I thought, well, if we take fuel cell, right, fuel cell energy, basically they already have the whole microgrid from producing hydrogen all the way to you know, using that energy. But really what it actually is these industries complementing each other, because what's happening here is we're making this clean energy more efficient and easier to use again, because we take in this renewable energy source, right? We have wind, solar, and other, and we could see other as sort of our F cells here, and then we get out these power uses like power grid, EV charging, microgrids, homes, right? And yes, fuel cell does sort of have their own microgrids here, but at the end of the day, what this is all going to do is make everything more efficient and also make F cell more efficient in this technology. So again, these are complementing each other, and this is why I'm bullish in the long term, because we have sort of you know, it complementing this renewable energy sector that is again growing, and that I'm in quite heavily with fuel cell again, and with sort of a lot of the solar companies I'm in, etc. Right? So this is why I'm bullish in the long term. And, you know, these deals that are coming out and going to make Hillcrest Petroleum more known, like the Inigo deal, like the AC/DC deal, like the Allset deal here, and the uplist to the CSE and everything, these are all going to be these short-term aspects which are going to push the price up more immediately. And again, the longer term is also quite bullish in my sense. So that's kind of what I have for you guys today. And I would definitely recommend you take a look at Hillcrest, because I do think, again, short term, we're going to see a big price jump, and long term, we're going to see a big price jump. And so, you know, you can't really go wrong in either sense on this one. And that's, again, why I also picked up some more shares this morning. And that's really going to do it for the video today, guys. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please like, subscribe, and leave me a comment as always. Share the video too if you want, you know what I mean? Everything helps me out. And other than that, I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.